So, good morning, students. Uh, in order to completion of the syllabus of class 12th, today we are going to start our new topic, which is the functions. As we have already discussed the revision of class 11th, and I think that is the sufficient base for our further chapters or further topic. So from today we'll start some new topic or new lessons. So these topics will be new for you. So just after watching these video, please read carefully all these topic in your book. If you don't have any textbook, so you can download soft copy of book from the websites of NCERT or CBSE. So let us start functions. Actually the functions, you can say that it is the named block of program. The block means it have some piece of code. That means suppose any piece of code of 4 line 5 line or any number of lines code you need many times in your program. So we do one thing, we just write that code in one block separately in anywhere in our program, and just give a name to that block, and whenever we need to execute on all those lines, we just call that block, and after calling that block all the line written in that block will get executed. These blocks or name block are known as a function, and exclusively they perform some task. So let's see how that function work. Over here I have given an example of function hello. If you see, this is the hello, and over here I have written two line, that is the hello and fun. Means whenever I call this word hello and after that write the parenthesis, or the two line which is the hello and fun will get executed. That means just by only calling this hello function, these both line will get executed, these both line. Okay, so let's see how it works. And suppose this is our program, and there is another function we have defined, that the function thing. Okay, and this function thing have two lines, and these two lines are the hello and fun. Okay, that means when we call the thing function in this order, okay, so this thing function will print these two line, that is the hello fun, and after that it will print the word zip, and again we have called the function thing as so after calling this function that is the thing, the again two line, that is the hello and fun, will be printed. So output will be this one. Over here in this slide I have used two example, one the function thing and the second is the function hello. So first let's see the function thing again. In the function thing I have used two lines, that is the print hello and fun, and I have this is the separate block I have defined anywhere in the program. Means whenever I call this function hello, these two line will be printed, and this is the calling of that function. That means when I call the function thing, these two line will be printed. So this is our output, hello and fun. And over here this is not the function, this is a simple part of the program which is the print zip line. So this zip get printed, and after that again I have called the function thing, so there will be hello and fun output. Now we'll move to the back to the function hello, and in this case I have used the two line over here, print hello and fun. Means whenever I call this function hello, the hello and fun will be printed. So let's see, you have used that hello, means the our output will be like that. After executing this hello function, it will print hello and fun. Okay, and again the that one zip word will be printed, and again if we call the function hello, then the output again will be, that is the hello fun. So the final output for this code, this particular code, will be hello fun zip hello fun. And the similar we have used that one in the thing function, and this is the our output according to this particular program will be the hello fun zip hello fun. So I hope you got just idea how this function work. So just we look some deep in the function. So there are actually two type of functions exist in any programming language, and the one category is it's known as a built-in function. This is the built-in function, and second category are also known as a user defined function. Remember what the word I have used, that is the user defined function, and the first one is the built-in functions. And built-in functions actually are those functions which are already defined inside the any programming language or any compiler of the programming language. And these function the name of these functions are predefined. You cannot use these function as your function name. Getting my point? And second the category is the user defined function. These user defined functions can be given any name by you programmer, but these name cannot be matched with the built-in function. That means the built-in functions are reserved function for Python compiler. These are similar to the keyword. That means the keyword cannot be used as the identifier. In the similar manner, the user defined functions name cannot be same as the built-in function. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So there over here the formal definition of the functions in the Python function is the some reusable code that takes some argument as input, does some computation, and then returns a result or results. We define a function using the def reserved word. We call invoke function by using the function name, parenthesis, and argument in an expression. So this is the actually basic terminology that we will use in our function. So just in order to get it more understood, so we'll just explain it one by one. Actually the function is reusable code. That means the code that we need to use multiple times. So in order to use that code, or instead writing code multiple times the same code, we just write that code in some piece of line or some within the some blocks, and that particular blocks are given a name, and whenever we need to execute these piece of line, we just call that particular name of block, and automatically those lines which are written in the block are executed. Okay, and there is some formal syntax or some formal format is given in the Python programming language how to define function. Whenever we define any function or whenever we give any definition to the function, any name to the function, so we must use the def word. So we'll just use particular def word like you may see in this slide. Okay, so if you see carefully, I have used the word def thing, means thing over here a function. Def is used for the define. Okay, so we have just defined a function thing. So in order to write any function structure or any function body, so we must give def for definition, def word to define any function, and it is followed by the body of function. So this is the function name and this is the body of the function, and similar over here, this is the function name and this is the body of the function. And we must, this is for the example, and we must use a def word before the word hello, otherwise it won't work. Getting? So this is the explanation of this first line, second line. And third line is about to how to call that function. In order to call any function, we just write the name of that function followed by parenthesis. Okay, suppose we want to call any function name, that is the xyz. So we just write xyz and this is the parenthesis. And this whole word xyz, and after that parenthesis is given, will call the function xyz. Getting? And if you want to define a function, so we must use like the def. Getting my point? So there is a some difference between calling and defining. To defining any function, we use the function, we use the word def, and to call any function, we just use that function name. Okay, and there is also some terminology used, that is the argument. Argument means, suppose we are calling a function xyz, and within the parameter, if you gives any value, suppose I am giving any value 10. Okay, so this 10 is our argument. Getting my point? Whatever the value we gives to the function, or that value is known as a argument to a function. Actually, we can define a function with argument or without argument based on our problem, or based on our program. Some function does not require any parameter, or some function require multiple parameters, some function require single parameter. Okay, so on the basis of our requirement of function, we can give the parameters. So this is the function calling. Okay, so over here I have called that function max. Okay, this is the calling function because we have not used the word def. Okay, so this is the calling of function, and we are calling over here function max. So this is the max function we have called, but within the bracket I have used the word, that is the hello word. This is the string. Means in order to call the function max, we must use any string within the bracket as an argument. Means whenever that function max has been defined, it must take a argument. Without argument, this function will not run. Getting my point? Okay, so see there, this function is also returning a value. That means after calling a function max, this function will return a string which is the w. Getting my point? So you can make notes regarding the function, like number one, the function must be defined with the keyword def. Second, the function must be called with its name followed by parenthesis. Third one, if you have defined any function with argument, so in order to call that function, you must use any suitable argument in the function calling. over here again the function max we have used, and over here the function that max hello world, and it's printing the w. Actually function also returns a value. That means whenever we write the function, it may return or may not return any value. Over here the function max is returning a value which is the w. So that means if we print the value of big, it will print the w. So over here I have used some examples of built-in function. That means as we have discussed, function can be of two types. One is the built-in function and second is the user-defined function. In the previous slides that the function we have used things, hello and max, those were the user-defined function, and over here I have used some built-in functions. So if you see carefully, I have used over here this is the float functions, the type function, again the float function, again the type function, the float function, and these functions are the built-in function, and they also have some exclusive tasks. What are the tasks they are having? If you use the float function, it converts any number which is into the integer, it will be converted into the floating number, that is the decimal number. And the type function just gives the types of that particular variable. Over here for example, suppose we have given I equal to 42, and if we use the function type I, it will print type integer. That means 42 is the type of integer, and suppose we have converted I into the float. Now if we use the printf, it is printing 42.0, and if we just print the type of f, it will print the float. That means type, float, int, str, all are the built-in functions. So there is some basic rules to define any function. So just see carefully. Building our own functions, we create a new function using the def cut, as we have discussed. We indent the body of the function, then in order to write the attach line with the function, so we just use some space. It is also known as indent. We must suppose xyz is the function, and we have used like def. So we cannot start from beginning, just give some space there and start writing the body of the function, and these lines will get attached with the function xyz. Getting my point? That means you want to attach any number of lines to the function, so you must use indent, that is the blank space before any lines. Third point is that this defines the function but does not execute the body of the function. That is the simple definition of the function. And over here if you see carefully, the function name is the lyrics, and it has two lines, because we have indent, we have used some blank space before this line. One line that is given is the I am okay, second line that is given I work all the day. Getting my point? So how to define function? It is very easy task. Just give the word def, and after that any word xyz, any function name, after parenthesis, and just put 2 colon there, and after indent or blank space just write your code. And if you just use this name anywhere in the program, these 2 lines will get executed. This is some formal definitions. Once we have defined a function, we can call or invoke it many times as we like. That means whenever we have defined that function, we can call that function in multiple times. That means whenever we write the name of that particular function, it gets called. This is store and reuse pattern. That means we have just we have written any piece of code or piece of block anywhere in the program, and just we have stored that into the file, and many times we can use. So this work on the store and use pattern. The third one is the important point regarding the function, that is the argument. The argument is the value which is passed in the function while it's calling. Over here I am calling the function max, and whatever I am passing to that function is known as a argument. And also there is a word parameters. Parameter actually is used when we define the function. Actually it is used within the definition. Over here I have used the function greet. If you see carefully, the def word is stand to define any function. This is the greet is the function name, and this word the lang, it may be any variable. You can use a, b, c or any variable over here, and this word lang is the parameter. That means you make note regarding the argument and parameter. Whatever the variable or whatever the value we pass while calling any function is known as argument, and whatever the variable we define while defining any functions is known as a parameter. Both are different. Okay, parameter is used in the definition of the function, and the argument is used in the calling of the function, and this rest is the body of our function. Getting my point? There is another terminology related to the function, that is the return. Okay, the return, that means after completion of any function, the function return any value, although it is not compulsory for any function, and that means function may return or may not return any value. But if you use the word return and any variable constant, after completing of this definition, function will return a value. In this case, this is our simple body of the function, and over here 2 times I have just called that function. First I have called that function using print greet and the glen. That means greet function will return the word hello, and it will be printed hello glen. And another time I have used the call the function greet and use the word Sally over here, so it will be printed like that, hello and Sally. That means the hello word will be returned at each time. Getting my point? Okay. So that is the multiple parameters or argument of the function. So any functions can be have multiple parameters or arguments. That means function may receive 1 parameter, 2 parameter, or number of parameters, or it may be it may receive nothing. So over here, as you see in this particular definition, and I have used the function name add2, and there are 2 parameters, that is the parameter a and b. That means in order to call that particular function add2, will use 2 argument, one for a, one for b. So that's all for today, dear students, and in the next class we again discuss the same topic, which is the function. Why? Because it is a new topic to you, and I think you have not studied this topic in the class 11th. So we'll do some practical on our mobile compiler, so it will be clear to you. So if you understand only the few terminology of the function or regarding the function, for today's class it will be sufficient, and for next few classes the function whole concept will be very much understood to you. So till then, bye bye.